Hey guys, Lady Locks here. So, welcome to Locksport, but now what? If you're looking to level up your Locksport game, then I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to do just that. Alright, so in order to level up your lockpicking skills, you kind of need to know what the levels actually are and, where you rank on this scale. So, we're going to use the LPU Belt Explorer to help us figure this out. The LPU Belt Explorer is a website that ranks locks from easy to difficult using karate belt colors to denote the different levels. So you got white, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, brown, red, and black. All right, so the website is the website we will use to figure out like what locks you're going to pick to get ranked if you would participate in the LPU belt ranking, which you can also choose to participate in. And I will leave a link to both websites in the description of this video so you can check them both out. But let's take a look at the LPU Belt Explorer website and try to figure out what level you're currently picking at. So in order to do that, I would choose your top 3 toughest locks that you actually can get open, and let's look at the Belt Explorer to find out what level those locks actually are ranked. There's 2 ways to check the locks in the Belt Explorer. The first way is to just click on the belt color on the top there, and it'll bring up a list in alphabetical order of all the locks that are ranked at that level. The second way is to just go to the search bar and type in the lock you're looking for, and if it's been ranked, it'll come up on the list and it'll tell you what belt color that it's ranked as well. So out of your top 3 toughest locks, where are they on the list? Were they even ranked? Because some of the locks aren't ranked yet, which it's a work in progress. So locks are constantly being added. So if your lock's not on there, it might be at a later date, but for now it's just not ranked. So there's nothing you can really do. And what's the highest belt any of them were ranked at? So the highest belt level that any of your locks were ranked, I would say that's the level that you are most likely currently picking at. So if your hardest level lock is a yellow belt lock, then that's probably where you're comfortable picking is the yellow belt locks. All right, so now that we know your level, how do you level up exactly? Well, the first thing you got to do to level up is you've got to practice, and then practice some more. A lot of this is going to be just practicing. You know what? There's a lot of different opinions on how you should practice when you're practicing your Locksport, but in my opinion and what I did to level up was I practiced at and above my current belt ranking level. So if I was yellow, I would practice some yellow belt locks, and then I had another, like an orange belt lock that I would practice as well. So what you need to do is you need to kind of split your practice time between the locks at your level and one of the locks that is above your level. So it's fine to play around with locks below your level and to have some set aside as comfort locks and like warm-up locks, but I do not think practicing below your level is a good idea. The reason I feel that way is because you're building muscle memory when you practice for an extended period of time. So if you're picking below your level for a lengthy amount of time, you're developing muscle memory for kind of sloppy picking. Those locks have sloppy tolerances, and picking at and above your level for lengthy amounts of time will teach you muscle memory for more precise picking, and that's what you kind of want. You want to learn how to be more precise. This is where the tolerances of the locks come into play. So as you go up the belt list of the locks begin to have tighter and tighter tolerances. So what does this mean? Well, as pickers, we take advantage of the errors in the manufacturing of a lock. The errors are what allow the pins to bind in order for us to even pick the locks. So the closer these locks are to being almost perfectly manufactured, the harder they become to pick, and the more precise your movements need to be to pick those locks. So to spend hours picking locks that aren't manufactured very well and have sloppy tolerances, the more hours you're putting into building muscle memory to basically sloppy picking. So picking above your level and trying to learn to be more precise in your picking is the way to go, in my opinion, if you want to level up. Even if your locks aren't opening, if you're picking at a higher, you're picking your higher belt level lock, even if you're not getting open, you're still learning to be more precise and you're advancing your picking skills. So continue to pick that lock and practice on that lock, and eventually, it will open for you. So to pick locks above your level, I also would recommend utilize progressive pinning. Progressive pinning is when you remove almost all the pins from the lock, leaving maybe 2 or 3 pin stacks in the lock. And you learn how to pick just those pin stacks, just those couple pin stacks. And you practice over and over and over again with just those couple. Once you get really, really good at it, you add another pin stack. So you'd have 3 now. So you keep practicing and practicing until you are good at that, and then you add a 4th, and so on until the lock is fully pinned. All right, so this technique is so helpful. It's useful as you go up the belt list onto harder and harder locks, because you're going to need to, do that in order to figure those locks out. And it also helps you learn a whole lot about the lock you're trying to pick. If you do it very slowly with just a couple pins, you really can pinpoint all kind of things about that lock, about the pins, everything. You can also learn how to pick new security pins as well using progressive pinning. So if you've never picked, say, a barrel spool before and you run into one of those and you don't really know how they like to be picked, you can throw 2 in the lock and really figure it out, So yeah, when you're trying to learn a lock above your level, using progressive pinning will help you a lot. This really, really helps you. And, only work on one lock that's above your level at a time. So once you get that one open, you can move on to another, but just focus on one at a time, because you're trying to learn the skills to pick that particular lock. And if you keep switching, you're just going to confuse yourself, and probably you won't get anything open for a while. So one lock at a time, and then once you get that open, you can grab another one. As you're practicing, you may come across a lock that you just cannot open for anything. It happens. Do not allow yourself to get stuck when this happens. Either pick a few more locks at your level. If you're stuck on your yellow belt and you grab a yellow belt lock and you're just totally stuck on that, pick some more locks that are at your yellow belt level, and then come back to that one, and you'll probably be able to get it open. All right. If not, then I suggest you grab a second one of that model of lock and try the second one. Sometimes you just have a really terrible lock that doesn't want to open. It just won't open for anything, and that's why we have naughty buckets. The naughty bucket is a name for where we store locks that we just cannot get open. Like I said, it happens to us all, and you can't get hung up on these locks. Don't get stuck thinking that you can't move forward because you can't get one lock open. One lock shouldn't hold you up. If you've tried all the other locks at your level, and you've tried another model of that same lock and you're still having no luck, just place the lock in the naughty bucket and move on, because you can always come back to it once you've leveled up a bit. You'll be able to pick that lock much easier. Just a quick note, as you're getting better at picking, and you're picking tighter and tighter tolerances, and you're more and more precise, you can definitely go back and pick locks that you don't need to be precise to pick. Those are going to be easy for you. That's why as you move up, all the locks on the belt list below you kind of get boring, because you're really good at them now, and you don't need to, really you grab one and you pick it right open, so it's not going to be very fun for you. But you need to keep moving forward, and don't get hung up on the fact that you didn't pick all these locks at that level. If you've only picked 5 locks that are orange belt, you are certainly fine to move up to green belt. If you can pick green belt locks, go for it. Okay, so another helpful tool to level up your lock picking skills is challenge locks. So a lot of people are on the fence about challenge locks. They feel like they're useless and don't really do much for your Locksport, for lock picking skills. I happen to disagree with that. I think challenge locks offer a lot. They are actually locks that are made by other Locksporters, and we share them around the community, and they basically are just a challenge to the pickers. See if you can pick this lock with these modified pins and modified chambers, and whatever the maker has done to the lock to try to make it more difficult. It's a challenge to you to see if you can open it, and it's pretty fun. It can be pretty fun. They range from easy to difficult, and I feel like they help you hone your picking skills. You figure out these wild pins, and you pick these crazy pins, and in the end, you're really kind of problem solving to get these open, because these are pins that you don't normally see, and they're in a configuration that you don't normally see. So it's kind of like an extra giant puzzle. So I feel like it helps a lot to pick these locks. And, you easily just can ask around for them. Just ask around. Does anybody have any challenge locks? You can ask around the community, see if anybody can send you some. You can find out there's some rules that are associated with these locks. You have to pass them on. You can't keep them. You have to single pin pick them. Just certain rules like that for how long you keep them and stuff. I made a video on a new picker challenge lock that was made by Beer Can Bushcraft, and I explained some of the rules in that video and kind of gave like a new picker's guide to challenge locks, I would say. So you can always check out that video if you'd like to hear some of the rules and find out, a little bit more about challenge locks and where to get them and so on. But mainly you just have to ask around, see if anybody has a challenge lock. Utilize your community. That's the biggest thing. We have a wonderful, helpful, huge, knowledgeable community full of some of the most amazing pickers in the world. Check out the LPU belt ranking system. Maybe you would like to be a part of it. Check out the Discord or the Reddit. The Discord is full of people who would gladly help you. Same with the Reddit. Check out the Picking Time Discord server or the Picking Time Live that we do on Saturdays right here on my channel at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a live lockpicking show. We have pickers of all levels join. They either come on screen and pick with us or they hang out in the live chat. You can get real-time help with any issue you're having from, any lock that you're having a problem with. You could just post your question on the chat, and so many people will be there to help you. And, you can ask and get answers right then. But yeah, you're absolutely welcome to join Picking Time. Mainly ask for help. And remember, there are no stupid questions. If you run into someone who tries to make you feel like your question is stupid, just completely ignore them and ask somebody else, because 98% of the community will gladly help you with any question that you have. There are no stupid questions. You can't learn it unless somebody teaches you it. And if you have a question about it, just ask, So that's about it, guys. That's all you really need to do to level up. Just keep moving forward. All right, so to sum it up, you got to practice. And then you got to practice at and above your current belt level. Use that, LPU Belt Explorer to find your locks that you want to pick and what you need to pick next. Maybe make yourself a little list of locks that you want to get in the future, that kind of thing. Practice some more. Try progressive pinning on the locks that give you trouble, or get one more, of that same model lock to see if maybe you're just having an issue with that particular lock and it might not be you at all. Practice a bunch of locks at your level in order to pick that one at your level that you're having trouble with. And if that doesn't work, then throw it in the naughty bucket. Practice some more. Try challenge locks. Challenge locks are just a great way to actually have fun, challenge yourself, and learn some new skills. Practice some more. Get involved in your community. There's tons of people that are here to help you. You can find yourself somebody to mentor you, to help you get, figure out the belt ranking system, to figure out how to do everything, to figure out how to get challenge locks. There's always somebody in the community that's willing to help you. And ask if you have a question. Anything you have a question on, just simply ask. And if, like I said, ignore people that are going to be mean, because they're going to be everywhere. But in Locksport, we generally don't have people like that. Everybody is more than happy to help you. And finally, practice. You have to practice. That's the biggest thing. Practice, practice, practice. All right, guys, I really hope that this helps you figure out how to level up. If you have any other questions or comments on this video, please leave it in the comment section. I'll be checking them to see if anybody has any questions. All right, guys, good luck to you, and I hope to see you leveling up soon. Take care.